Hey, it's Babcia and Yia Yia coming to you talking about the last frontier today.
We're heading to Alaska.
That's right, home of sled dogs
And moose.
and bears.
My!
Let's go check out what the wild frontier of Alaska has to offer for us. You know, Terri, when I went to Alaska, I did a little bit differently than you did.
Yes.
I went on a land sea cruise. So we went kind of like up toward the middle, toward Denali, on a train. And then we went back to the coast and took a cruise through like the lower part of Alaska. What did you do?
We flew into Anchorage and had an RV waiting for us.
Okay.
And we traveled down towards Seward and then up back through Denali out to Fairbanks.
Very cool.
Staying at various campgrounds along the way and had a more land experience.
I got it. So we're coming to you about Alaska from two different perspectives.
Yes.
And I think it'll show that no matter which way you choose to go up there, you're going to love it no matter what.
No matter what. You can't help it.
And can we start with the fact that this is the perfect place to take kids?
Oh, by far.
There is just so much for them to do there. Let's dive in with a lot of the activities that you are able to do, whether you RV, drive, take a tour, take a cruise. It kind of doesn't matter how you approach it. You're going to have some really great experiences. Let's pop right into the middle of Alaska and talk about probably the biggest landmark Alaska offers.
Mount McKinley.
That's right.
As the natives call it, but as we know it as Denali.
Yeah, Denali National Park up there.
And we actually camped there.
Oh, neat.
And what is so funny is they said, now be aware of the moose droppings.
Oh, so great.
Because that will show you where the moose might be or have been. So you do get a nice experience. Now, we did not hike Denali, but we drove through the lower elevation.
Right.
So beautiful.
I liked it up there. It's very interesting because you're kind of above the tree line. And you kind of see how nature figures out what to do up there without the big, huge trees. So lots of things to see.
Now, I know you did not go whitewater rafting in Denali, but I did.
No, I did too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that's where we went.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the most amazing thing was, and they're great with children, is they took my daughter and lifted her over and put her in the water. Ooh. And they're like, you'll never, now you can say you swam in a glacier fed river.
Oh my word.
Because you have on your Gore-Tex suit, so you don't feel it. I thought that was amazing.
Now, how rapid were the rapids for you?
Well, you know, I'm a pro. So, it was pretty intense, but no, not anywhere near the top level. Mid-range.
Mid-range?
Mid-range.
Okay, I had the kiddos with me too, but they were teenagers when we went. Can I just tell you? Level 5 rapids.
Whoa.
It was out of control, and it was one of my first rapid experiences.
Mine too.
Yes, and the pictures are hilarious because my face is like, we're all going to die and we're dying right now in this water. I'm dying a cold death. That was how I felt.
But you know, they were so great. If you hadn't done river rafting, I had not. They were so accommodating.
Yeah.
And so nice and so great with the kids. It's so family friendly.
It was very family friendly. And believe it or not, I really did enjoy myself.
And no one died.
Yeah. I was scared there were a couple of, like, roller coastery scared, though. Is that fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right. Let's move on.
Let's.
There's another great activity that is so quintessentially Alaska. Gold panning.
What?
Yeah.
Now, I went gold panning out of Fairbanks.
And I did it out of Juneau.
We went on a river cruise. And one of the stops was your gold panning. And, of course, you think you're really digging for gold, but you're going to strike it rich. You're not.
I think they put glitter in the water.
I think they do something. But it is experience, because why did people go to Alaska? Why did people go? Gold.
Yes. I will tell you, this enthralled my kids for a long time.
Yes.
They were getting rich. They stood in that water with those pans for hours.
And did you buy the little necklaces with the gold they found in it?
We just took the little vials and we were done. Yeah, I didn't make necklaces.
You
or
had
anything.
to. You had to take it with you.
Yeah, but we took our little gold flakes with us. I'm telling you though, I think it might be Martha Stewart.
One day we're gonna be rich.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Now, again, I was further to the south. You were further to the north the entire time. One of the most incredible things to the south, though, is another national park, and that's out on the water, Glacier Bay.
Everybody hears of Glacier Bay.
It is. You know what was amazing about it was how hard it was to conceive how big things were. Here you thought you were like maybe a couple of 1,000 feet from something. No, you're like 10 miles from that.
Right.
And it's coming down in front of you. And the glaciers calve in front
I know,
of you.
it's beautiful.
Amazing. And we happened to be there on the right day in the summer where they expect one big calve during the summer. That was the day we were there.
Can I tell? It's a sad story.
Go.
When we were there, not too long before we got there was a couple there on their honeymoon. And they thought, it would be so romantic to go kayaking by the glaciers. But not during the time that it's calving.
No. Oh.
They didn't make it to their first anniversary.
They became a Keith Morrison special.
Yes.
Oh. Ouch.
That's when we need guided tours.
That's right. We love those local tour guides. That's for sure. All right. One of the other cool things, especially if you watched anything on any of these documentary channels that are around, is you want to take in a bit of the outdoor sports that are there. And fishing up there is huge. And we actually took a fishing trip, a charter, off the waters of Ketchikan. And love Ketchikan. It has the town itself has such a great feel to it.
And you can see the Russian influence.
You can, all over the place, because
they're their neighbor.
Yeah, that's our neighbor right there, and not very far away at all. And you can go and enjoy freshwater fishing, saltwater fishing. Both are available. Can I say this? If you do go out for the big fish and you're like, okay, so I caught a fish, now what do I do? Usually the local guides have a way to get your fish flash frozen for you.
Say that fast.
Flash frozen for you, and shipped to your doorstep. Our guys even asked us what day we would like our fish to show up on our doorstep. We chose like 2 days after we got home. There it was.
And
frozen.
just so everyone knows, here's a little side note. It's not free. They don't do it for free. There is a cost.
It comes with your charter.
Right.
Yes, exactly. It's usually included in the cost. And it's a good question to ask. Is the shipping included in this cost? Yeah, because they will help you out. Now, speaking of fish, one of the most magical experiences we had, and I actually thought of your daughter because she loves Tinkerbell so much. We learned about the salmon bake that they have inside some of the little wood hollers.
Is it not amazing?
Oh my gosh.
On our tour in Fairbanks, we're on this big old riverboat.
Right.
And we stop at different locations. And one of them was specifically designated on preparing the salmon.
Right.
And how they do it in the smokehouses.
Oh, so you did the smoked salmon.
Yes.
We did the fresh baked over the fire salmon. So 2 different experiences.
You got to try both.
Exactly. And they had like picnic tables and like a whole buffet set up for us. And you kind of chose a little corner. And they had a little bit of music in the background. Like it was very sweet. But the fireflies were in the air. All the little flowers of the forest, like the squirrels and the chipmunks, were very interested in who was around.
You were like in a little Disney experience.
It was. You were ready for Tinkerbell and her girls squad to show up at any time. It was beautiful. And it's not that the food was over the top. It was very, very good. It was the
The
whole experience
experience.
all together.
There's our word.
We love that word.
Let's go on to something a little bit more dear to our heart
Oh
that
my
gives us just the
gosh.
warm fuzzies. Who has never heard of the Iditarod? Not a lot of people. It's becoming more popular and popular. But it's very popular in Alaska. And if you don't know, look up Balto.
That's
Okay?
right.
Go to one of the dog sled mushing camps. They are around. I went to one in Seward. Now that's where the Iditarod actually started from.
Right.
They do the takeoff in Anchorage, but the official start is from Seward. So we went and toured a dog mushing camp. And it was during the summer, so you think, oh, what are we going to do? One, you're going to see the puppies.
Oh my gosh. And they are.
One, you're going to see the puppies. Two, they're going to put you on a sled that's on wheels, and those dogs are going to take you through the woods.
So here's what I learned about all of that, which I thought was so cool. I said, do you really want tourists? Is this just maybe how you fundraise? Like, I asked the question, right? Like, is this good for the dogs? And this is what the guy who runs the Iditarod said to me. He goes, on the surface, it seems like this is just a way to make money. To tell you the truth, that's actually last on our mind. We need your help.
Conditioning.
Not only conditioning, but they need the dogs to run with the heavier summer sled so that the winter sled, which is lighter, they do better with. They're more agile with it. So it helps the older dogs be better athletes. And then they want you to have your hands all over those little baby puppies. They want you holding them and kissing them and loving on them and picking them up and putting them down and running around with them. They want as many hands on them as possible because when they become the athletes, they're used to strange hands touching them. Because when they're out on the race course, there are so many handlers that help get the dogs bedded down for the night.
Get their booties on.
That's right. Vets, all of those kind of things. So you're actually helping them be successful later on. Now, here was my biggest question about them. Do these dogs even really care?
They do.
They love it so much. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I'm here so that this dog can run. Because we met a dog named Joe. And Joe had his water bowl right in front of him. And then he realized he was getting hooked up.
And
he flipped that water bowl over. He's jumping up and down on it like he was Tigger from Winnie the Pooh. Up and down,
ready
up
to
and
go.
down. He was so excited. He was like, we're running, we're running, we're running. I'm so happy you're here. They're like over the moon about it. So I think this is probably one of the more ethical animal experiences out there just because it helps in the future. It helps those human athletes now that get ready. And the doggos love all that love from us.
And I'll tell you, when I was in Fairbanks on my little riverboat cruise everywhere, we went by Susan Butcher's house. If you don't know Susan Butcher, she's a woman who won the Iditarod.
Yeah.
Not once. I think twice. She did die of cancer.
Yes.
But we've got to go and stop by her place. We were on the riverboat. She did a demonstration with her dogs. It was very, very impressive.
And it is so neat to meet them and see kind of what the history is. It's a great history and culture thing along with those animals. We're talking about it so much because it is such a highlight and it is a
And everyone in the
must-do.
family will love it.
Everybody will love it. You're listening to Babcia and Yia Travel the World, and we hope that you are enjoying today's conversation. We invite you to become part of our travel community, so head on over to babciaandyiayia.com. That's BABCIA and YIA. And subscribe to our blog so that you can be kept in the loop as we talk about destinations and how to make travel a priority in your daily life. Whether you are travel dreaming or you've got boarding passes in your hand, we've got resources, plans, and plenty of inspiration to get you ready for whatever adventure awaits. You can find us on all the social media at Babcia and Yia, and we hope that we see you there. Okay, we're going to keep on rolling down, and we're going to go zip lining.
We're going to zip it up with this zip lining.
That's right. Listen, zip lining in Alaska is one of those great experiences. And I know we're hearing about zip lining in a lot of other places, but there's so many courses that they've set up in Alaska that bring you through the wilderness and let you kind of see things that maybe you weren't sure you were going to see. The one we went on was in Talkeetna, just a little south of Denali. Can I tell you? So great. The last zip, right over a big lake, and there were fish kind of jumping, and there was
another
wildlife.
Disney moment.
It was a Disney moment, and then you land on the other side, and like your whole group is there. It was a lot of fun. We had a really good time. Now, tell me who was on your trip to Alaska.
It was me and my husband and my daughter and my son and my mom and my dad.
So you were 6 in Alaska.
6.
3 generations.
Yes.
Okay, on my trip, I was my mother, my husband, myself, and my 3 kids. 6. 3 different generations.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I think that this is the trip that totally meets the requirements.
Oh, yes.
For that kind of travel. Like if you're looking to do something with your parents and your kids, and as the mom, you're the planner.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes.
We hear you. We want you to know this is a great square one. This is, to me, the first trip I would look into.
Yes, and let me say this just as some knowledge that you may need to do if you're doing the RV traveling or you're traveling by car. Normally, people who never see moose, when you first see one in the wild, you get super excited. Well, in Alaska, they don't have big pullovers on the side of the street, so you can do this. They frown upon you stopping in the middle of the road, and I know this from personal experience. Okay? So find a spot where you can look at them safely, and I don't know how much more I can emphasize keeping your distance from this wildlife. Bears, moose, make yourself safe. And this I did not know when I traveled there. Eagles are huge.
They are huge.
And I'm going to tell you, it kind of changed my perspective of them because they're huge scavengers. And the best place you can see a massive amount of them is at dumps.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. But it's like, what? It's like amazing to see them like that.
Well, they're cleaning up the world. One scavenge at a time,
One
right?
scavenge at a time.
Oh my gosh. I loved Alaska. I thought it was totally worth it. We went on Princess Cruise Lines. You went through an RV company. I think this is definitely one of those trips you kind of can't go wrong. And there are so many choices. The biggest problem you're going to have is deciding what you can't get to in the time you have.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to have a hard time filling up your schedule here. Love it.
Love it.
All right, in this episode of Now Boarding, let's go ahead and jump right in like we always do with our famous global book picks. This is becoming a big deal in our world, girl.
Yes, because I'm a reader.
Okay, I'm going to put 2 titles out there that need no introduction and no explanation at all. They are ultra famous. Your kids know these books if they're in high school already.
If they don't know these books, shame on you.
Shame on them. Yep. Okay. White Fang by Jack London. Can't go wrong. Another Jack London book, Call of the Wild. They have been made into movies. I think Call of the Wild became a TV show even.
Well, and Call of the Wild was just done, I want to think, by Harrison Ford.
Yes.
There's
you're
a new,
right.
Right. But
yes.
No, okay, let's take away from the movie element, guys. Read the books.
Read the books.
Read the books. Okay.
That's your airplane read right there.
Oh. Mm-hmm. If it was me, I would have my kids read them if they are of age.
Yeah.
Read the books before we go.
And check out our podcast and our blog about the Great Read Aloud, because we talk about how reading out loud with older kids is something that may be well worth your time. And these are great books that show that.
Yeah. Okay.
What you got?
Okay, I'm a little newer on this one. Okay. This is an adult pick. It's called The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. She's a hot author right now. Okay.
Yes.
This is a book about a family that is relocated to the wilderness of Alaska and how they learn to survive living on the land, living in a small fishing village. And there's love and there's murder and it's all things good.
So, all the drama.
All the drama.
Fabulous. I love it. Okay. Let's get into a few travel tips, products, binges. We got a couple of things coming up.
Okay, so let me talk about my travel tips. Because we went during the summertime.
Us too.
Okay. And we were RVing. So we were at campsites. We could pull over, have lunch. Okay. Alaska has mosquitoes. Now, not like you think. They're sometimes considered the state bird. They're huge.
They're huge.
They could carry you away.
Yes, they can.
Okay. Get mosquito repellent. You have to have something to protect yourself.
Yeah.
They also have the no-see-ums there that are going to fly around. So you want to make sure you have all kinds of bug spray. You're in the wilderness. So be prepared.
You know, so much so that when we were rafting by Denali, they were happier when it was raining when we were rafting because it meant that the bugs went away.
Yeah.
So think about it in terms of that. And they are helicopters. They're huge. Yeah, I agree with you. My travel tip, the signs are there for a reason. Terri has been emphasizing to stay away from those animals. We were staying at a lodge up by Talkeetna, and there was a chain across one of the walking paths, and it said, "Mama and baby do not enter," and had a picture of a moose.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going near where the mama is keeping her little babies. That's a bad choice. And do you know how many people we saw step right over
because
that
they
chain?
want to be on YouTube?
Apparently, they need to be on YouTube. That is not how I want to become a YouTube star. I
No.
have to tell you, pay attention to the signs and heed them. They're only there to make it easier for you and not to take away from your experience. And there is so much to do there.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be fine. So let's stick with the signs.
All right, next, because when you go to Alaska during the summer, you got to remember they are at a 90% daylight time.
Yeah.
Like it is daylight all the time.
True.
So for us, we had to make sure that we had our window covers in the RV or you would never know it's night. But we also recommend sleep mask. Because then you know, your body knows it's dark. You can keep the light out of your eyes. And you can get some rest.
Yes, I can see that being an even bigger deal for what you did than what I did. We didn't have too many problems because we have blackout curtains pretty much for everything. I will say the coolest thing about the 90% daylight, when you show up in Alaska, you usually show up very late at night at the airport.
And it's still daylight. It's dusky.
It's dusky. Like there's like a sunset, but the sunrise is coming so fast. It's not going to be very long at all. And can I say, that airport was hopping at midnight.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on. I love that Fun Anchorage airport.
Oh, it's beautiful flying into.
It is. And inside, there's a lot to look
Artwork.
at. And the stores are open. There's like, the airport is kind of almost a destination in itself. And I wish I wasn't just rushing through to get to where I was going. I would have loved to have looked around. Not many airports have that ability. So there you go, Anchorage. Very good job on that. Okay. I am going to say this, and you're going to say, Alex, what's your problem? Bring a bathing suit. Just go ahead, say it.
What's your problem?
Yeah. Here's what I'm saying. There are times when there are moments where you may be able to have a water experience that you don't think that you could have. And if you go rafting, you can wear that bathing suit underneath your
Gore-Tex
dry suit to help out, because I got to tell you, my neck seal, not the best in the world. Not the best in the world up there. And that little cold water did get in there. Yeah. And I really wish I had at least my bathing suit top on underneath that.
Okay.
It would have made it easier to get it on and off. And if you're on any sort of boat and they have a pool or a hot tub or something like that, that may be something that you're interested in. So don't discount your bathing suit just because you're going someplace cold. Okay? Travel binge.
Okay, mine's not a movie.
Okay,
because I really binged through this. Now, you can get it as an app, but it's called Milepost.
Okay.
And what it does is, because in Alaska, everything's marked by miles.
Yes.
So the Milepost will tell you everything to do, see, whatever's available at each milepost.
Oh, that's neat. Kind of like iExit for Alaska.
Yes.
Perfect. Oh, I love that.
So then you can just go through and say, okay, I'm going to be here. What's there to do at this milepost? Or if I'm driving to Denali, what milepost am I looking for?
Yeah.
You know, it kind of helps. Great. You can get it in a book form, which I like because I love to mark it up, sticky note, all that. You can also download it. Mm-hmm. So
okay, now on the same topic, Alaska.org is one of your favorites.
oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Because it tells you weather, it tells you everything, events that are going on, anything. That Alaska app is amazing.
And they have a lot of local tour guides on there.
Yes.
Which I love. Okay, speaking of local tour guides, the Denali National Park app will hook you up with all the right people for the different tours and guides that you can take and experiences that you can take up there. So all three of those are a great way to really get yourself and dig deep into Alaska, regardless of how you're going.
Right.
Okay.
Let's talk food.
Food.
Now, I want to say this too. If you're staying in Anchorage,
yes,
and it's during the summertime, they usually have a farmer's market.
Yes.
Go, because not only will you see these huge amounts of produce and fruits and vegetables.
Huge is the word.
Huge because they have such a massive growing time.
Right.
Growing season, but there's also arts and crafts, locals. I got a pair of shoes that I still have. I will never wear them because they're hideous, but they were hand painted by someone in Alaska. I mean, I thought they were cool at the time and I'm going to wear them. No, I'm not. I look like Howdy Doody, but please do that. Also, my other food, if you're going, I don't care if you don't like salmon, you've got to try it. It's so different when you're there.
I say this about Japan and sushi. Don't tell me that American sushi is Japanese sushi. Oh. It's two different food groups.
And it's not American sushi.
Thank you. Don't tell me that the salmon that you buy at the local supermarket is what you get in Alaska. It is different. It is it's so much better there. Don't worry about all that pink salmon-y stuff that everybody talks about. Go eat the salmon there. Right. It's like nothing you've ever tasted.
Reindeer sausage.
Counterintuitive. Excellent.
Yeah.
It's really good.
That may be an out-of-the-box experience for you because you may I'm not eating Rudolph.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Don't knock it till you try it.
That's what we're saying. Last but not least, try in the food department the amazing berries that are up there. They put all of those great forest berries like blackberries, raspberries, all of those great northern growing berries. They put them in so many things and it tastes so good. I'm going to tell you, I had a piece of lemon cake with locally grown berries on top and compote on top of that.
The best ever.
I mean, what more do you want in life? It was so good.
When in Rome, do as the Romans do.
That's all I'm saying to you.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay. And if you need something to get you inspired on your trip, check out Goofy Sandra Bullock and
Betty White.
Yes, in The Proposal, which takes place in Alaska. Adorable.
And get a little Ryan Reynolds in there.
There you go. A great way to kind of round up getting prepared for a great trip to an incredibly reliable destination for any group of people to go to. Alaska.
Let's go.
The travel industry has taken quite a blow from several global issues, including the war in Ukraine, the COVID-19 crisis, and inflation, that makes it hard for people to get out into the world like they want to. At this point, leading experts are predicting that it is going to take up to 3 years for the travel industry to bounce back to full force. One way that you can help is to like and subscribe to 10 microbloggers. Start with us. You can like and subscribe to our podcast and our website so that you can tell the travel industry that people are still interested in travel. So, Terri, how can listeners get a hold of us?
We'd like to hear from you. Contact us at babciaandyiayia@gmail.com with your questions, suggestions, favorite travel tips, products, and travel trends so that we can share your ideas in the future. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and LinkedIn. Here you go, guys. Babcia and Yaya. BABCIA and YIA.
babciaandyiayia.com is the home base for everything that we love about travel, and it's where we store our show notes as well as many of the resources that we offer to our travel community, including travel literacy for the kiddos. We always have new posts about all the things we love and about all the travel we're up to, including today's topic, as well as features on destinations, travel lifestyle, and stories to make you smile.
Didn't get all that? Just check out our show notes for all of the ways to stay in touch and links to anything we chatted about in this episode. As always, thanks for joining us for our journey.